You need to be an early bird to have Venice to yourself these days. This is when Piazza San Marco is at its most stunning. But it doesn't take long for that to change. Mass tourism has been a growing problem here for years. Day trippers and cruise passengers descending on this island city with good intentions. But are they driving this place to its extinction? And what can we all learn about Venice's struggles? This is what happened here earlier in the month. It was a miracle no one died. The few who were injured are now recovering. River taxi skipper Marco saw the crash just a few hundred meters from the jetty at St. Mark's Square.
Did you expect this sort of thing might happen? Such big ships in this small place?
Yes. We should to change area. We should to go. The cruise ship should to go in another place of Lagoon.
Locals aren't remotely surprised about what happened here, but there is a hope that it will put a real focus on this city, whose problems may be linked to mass tourism, but they go well beyond that.
The number of tourists here these days far outweighs the number who actually live here. Back on Easter Sunday, 100,000 people visited in just one day. This is a story of chronic mismanagement, a crumbling city, failed engineering projects, and huge environmental challenges. We're out on the canal with 22-year-old student and Venetian Vittorio de Mostow.
So this is actually my family's house.
He's taking us on the alternative tour of this city.
So here on this side you'll see the erosion, and as you can see there's the green line. That is where the water usually arrives. And then beneath it you see that it's all slowly coming to pieces.
There's so much traffic here. There's a big, I don't know what this is, delivering something. And that's part of the problem. There are just too many people, too many boats.
Yeah, absolutely.
We head out into the lagoon on which Venice sits and to an engineering project that's become a tragic joke for locals.
This is a flood barrier, effectively.
Exactly, and the Mostow is various flood barriers on the various port mouths of Venice. And what it's supposed to do is to come up when you have an extreme high tide, that's usually over 130 meters. And what's supposed to do is decrease the amount of water that's coming into Venice, so to decrease the amount of the high tide. From what they said, it was supposed to be finished in 2011, but right now they've postponed the date to 2022.
Throughout, it's been plagued with allegations of corruption and mismanagement. Environmentalists claim its design is flawed anyway.
So here on the right you can see the salt marshes that are a vital part of the ecosystem of the lagoon.
And they're being destroyed.
And slowly, with the drenching of the canals and the hiring of the water level, these are slowly getting lost. You're starting to lose even the ecosystem. It's starting to be imbalanced.
So the ecosystem effectively breaks down as a result of mass tourism and the desire of everyone to come and see Venice.
Yes, in a strange way, the more people come to Venice, the harder it is for the ecosystem to survive.
We head back past a sandbank which Vittorio and his friends cleared a few weeks ago, and another that still needs to be done. Very high tides and rising sea levels are a real challenge here now. The city floods regularly, far more than it used to, and the erosion is devastating.
So I think this laser, this light that measures how high the tide is. And then
concerned locals feel the authorities are not taking the challenges seriously enough. They've funded and installed their own tide gauge. One of the names on the plaque is Vittorio's mother's, and it's her he says we should talk to. Jane de Mostow is from London originally, but a Venetian for 25 years, and an environmental scientist who now, depressingly, finds her subject all around her.
Venice is a unique city, but the single critical issues that are challenging Venice are very common to other places. But it's true, we have the benefit here in Venice of seeing things kind of close up and magnified, and also having an impact on the scale of the city because it's relatively small and tightly packed. And I do think Venice is kind of the canary in the mine because it has so much international attention on what happens to Venice. Everybody thinks of Venice. Most people love Venice. So we really are at the coalface, like you say, of showing that the future is possible.
For years, Venice has been seen as perfectly representative of Italy's problems with corruption and dysfunctional government. But it's become clear that it reflects much, much more than that. Encapsulated in one lagoon city are many of the challenges that we're all facing.
In the distance, thousands more tourists prepare to arrive. The debate over whether to allow these ships here has yo-yoed for years. In 2014, the Port of Venice proposed a ban. Then regional government overturned it. Then the central government overturned that, saying that by 2015 they would all be banned. And so it went on, but they are still here. On the corner of the square is Gelateria al Tadaro, opened in 1948 by Giovanni Barbalik, bringing ice cream to the city for the first time. It's run by his great-grandson now, but for how much longer?
I'm here because I want to do something for this city. I try, and I think that a lot of persons, not only Venetians, but everybody in the world who loves Venice, want to do it. In my opinion, we have to speak about a city against the pollution, against the over-tourism, so we have to decide how many persons every day, and so on. Maybe we will do something good for Venice.
So do you worry about your city?
Quite a bit, yes. Recently more than I used to.
And you're young. You were telling me you and your friends that you've noticed that young people are more active, more worried.
Yes, absolutely.
That's got to be a good thing.
Absolutely.
We're trying to fix things in a city that's been here for 1,000 years. And I don't want to be part of the population that lets it all just slip away.